Star Wars Rise of the Resistance is a theme park attraction in the Star Wars Galaxy Edge lands at both Disneyland and Disney's Hollywood Studios. Set in the timeline of the Star Wars sequel trilogy, produced after Disney's 2012 purchase of Lucasfilm, the attraction is centered on a battle between the authoritarian First Order and the Galactic Resistance. Hello, my name is Logan Shaw. Welcome to Logan's Story. Today we're going to talk about Rise of the Resistance, this next historical proof of context of Disneyland rides. Thanks for coming. Let's get into it. What does it mean to escape? Escape from anything. Escape from the mundanes of life. Escape from the overdanes of life, if that makes sense. Escape, escape, escape. See, when it comes to this ride, you're escaping the First Order to become part of the resistance at the end of the ride. And you do. You end up, finding a way out. And with the help of Rey, Finn, and a bunch of other people like Beck, everyone who's included in this idea of escaping the First Order, it comes down to this and this only. Why is it that we can't have that same tenacity and escape, well, not our problems, but escape what's wrong? The bottom line is this: when you escape the world, or escape your own problems, that's good for a short amount of time. But to make the right choices in the midst of doing something that's amazingly different is why we are here talking about what the beauty in terms of escapism is. See, the thing is, we're escaping the First Order to get somewhere that's better than the First Order, or somewhat compatible. And that leads us to understanding of what it could possibly mean for us to build off of something so powerful that is the idea of getting to the right path. See, the thing is, when it comes down to believing in yourself and believing you can do great things, there's no facetious amount of timing to build yourself up to be something great. See, the thing is, people are not going to like who you become over the years. If you're in high school now, and if you're a high school student watching these videos, hello, thank you for watching, but just know that people are going to evacuate from your life. They're not going to always be there. You know what I mean? You're not always going to have the friends you had in college or the friends you had in high school. They're going to go away. And in some cases, more than not, that's kind of a good thing and a bad thing. It offers you to have experiences that you never had before. And it offers you to be a part of something bigger than just people. Bigger than yourself. See, the thing is, when it comes down to it, this ride shows us what it means to carry good, what it means to carry the light, what it means to carry, even if you believe in Jesus. The thing is, when you go through life, you're going to have many people leave, but the right people are going to stay. The right friends are going to stay. The people who love everything that you do, they're going to stay. The people who cheer you on, they're going to stay. And even if they don't stay, they're always cheering you from the sidelines. And that's why I view this YouTube channel. People are cheering for me to make sure I can get an account on YouTube that will sufficiently make a change in some people's lives. And I think that's what YouTubers are trying to do. When you open YouTube and you see these videos, and they're different inventive videos, they're meant to take you out of the world. We're blessed to have phones and TVs and things like that where you can be out of the world in some case. And that case is something amazing. And the reason why we are in the position that we are at now as Americans is we prosper. Some of us more than others, but we still prosper. We still have excitement going on. We still have responsibilities to attend to. And we still need to be the people that are willing to attend to the blockage of any given promissory note that comes with life. But here's the thing. To tie that all together into a detail-oriented segment, let's go into detail. Okay, so what's the biggest thing that you've done in your life? What's the biggest thing that you've done in your life? I mean, think about it. What is something that you accomplished, or something that you and your friends accomplished, or something that you and your loved ones did that felt like you changed the world in some sense? See, when you're watching Star Wars, especially when you're watching like Star Wars in terms of the First Order and the Resistance, that part of the Star Wars trilogy, you tend to see a lot of flaws, but at the same time, you tend to see a lot of things that are indifferent to the ride itself. And that means, what is the most takeaway? They take away from films like Star Wars. See, George Lucas was adamant that there was a light side and there was a dark side, to tell the full story of what it means to have both in question. And because of that, there is a beauty that comes with talking about light side versus dark side and what that means for the world. George Lucas once said, you find joy rather than temporary happiness, satisfaction. And joy is different than satisfaction. He said that joy is timeless. You can never really get rid of joy. And if you have peace at the same time, you realize that how important having both are in this limitless world that we're living in, this crazy world that we're living in. I mean, there's a war going on, there's prices going up, there's a lot of things that we don't really see as problems to us because we live through them, but at the same time, there's still problems. We need to be aware that when it comes down to the beauty of the world and the beauty of making sure we see the world as what it is, it's not so far-fetched into becoming the world that is dark or light. There's two sides to every story. There's a lot of realism that comes with these Star Wars films. And there's a lot of realism that comes with George Lucas in terms of Star Wars. So, with that being said, the light side, the dark side, in terms of this ride, is implemented in so many cases. When it comes to Finn trying to get you out, when it comes down to Kylo Ren trying to stop you, when it comes down to the fight that will always be magnetized to our eyes because that is the most magnificent thing to ever happen in cinema and in ride history. The thing is, when you run away from the First Order, you're rising with the Resistance. You're rising from the troubles and problems you give yourself, somewhat so. You're rising from all that. You're rising from the temperament that would hold you back. The thing is, when you ride this ride, there's something that is so beautiful that you need to take into consideration if you're younger or older, whatever you are. Rising with the Resistance means rising with yourself. And being defeated as the First Order is being defeated in yourself. The Dark Lords and the Dark War are always dark for a specific reason. But there are heroes because of those bad guys. There are heroes to help us face the day. Whatever that hero is to you, it's an accomplice with what this ride is entirely. So with that being said, and hopefully you see more than that, more than ever, application of course. Okay, so what's your deal? What are you gonna do? How are you gonna rise against the hate? How are you gonna rise against something that's impossible? How are you gonna rise against something that may be impossible, but it's clearly possible if you have the tools to do it, to become one with the Force, to become one with yourself. See, the thing is, the Force that we know is all around us. It's an energy field that carries over into not what the Force portrays in Star Wars, but what the Force portrays here in America and the world. The Force, in some senses, is a real thing. And I'm not talking like getting lightsabers into your hand or pushing doors open. I'm talking about an internalized thought that creates change. Force for change. It's buzzing through the air. People can feel it. You can feel it in a room. You can feel it in a crowd. If you sense danger, you can feel it in your gut. That's the Force I'm talking about. It's an energy field that's around us. And if you feel like you're in trouble, if you feel like something's wrong, if you feel an off-putting thing in a room that you shouldn't be in, somewhat of a sense. And the Force may not be that. But here's the thing, here's why I bring this up. Are you the Force? Are you the Resistance? Or are you the First Order? See, the thing is, We can be limitless on the grounds of what the First Order could offer us, but it'd be bad in the sense of what they actually intend to do. Take over the universe, destroy planets, take over people, kill people for their own pleasure. But when you're part of the resistance, you're part of a nation that loves instead of hates, that understands instead of just is impatient with understanding, that is open rather than being closed. And, well, the First Order can't really beat the resistance, because the smaller the resistance is, doesn't matter how small the resistance is, they have big ideas, and they learn to work with every single one of them. So the bottom line is this: what are you doing to keep your sake on the level of something good? Are you willing to make those good choices in life? Are you willing to make bad choices in life? But the thing is, you can always escape, and there's one way to do that. Trust in yourself. If you're religious enough, trust in God, and trust in the process. Because the escape is no matter there to escape the world, but to escape the inner problems of the world is impossible. But to find a route in which you can go to get to that golden era of the sun, that's something we all can do. No matter who you are, no matter what age you are. I don't care if you have 98 subscribers on a 500-page channel. Keep making videos, just like me. Thank you for my little story, and let's close out. Thank you for my local story. Thank you for my historical world for context and long rides. There are more rides in the future, so keep an eye out for those. Also, the mission is 1,000 subscribers. You guys let me get there by hitting the share, like, and subscribe button right on the screen. Also, by hitting that bell. Leave a comment if you can, too. Follow my Patreon if you can. And guess what? This is our last video on Disneyland, so be sure to look up the other videos that are related to historical Worldview rides. Thank you again, and peace.